Okay, hey everyone, it's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria. Welcome to the second live that I've ever done. I told you guys that I'd be on here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a live. I'm going to try to do this every Friday. I am going on vacation the end of February, so I won't be able to do one then, but maybe I will, film a day in the life or something on vacation for you guys. So, um, yeah, nobody is here yet. Oh, one person. Okay, hello. Thanks for joining. Right now, the little guy is sleeping, so I'm hoping that you guys will come in here and chat me up before he wakes up. This seems like a good time for him to nap. I've been trying to get some consistency so I can film some videos for you guys. Um, and yeah, just be more consistent with being on social media. I hope you've been enjoying my recent video analysis and critiques of the carnivore diet movement. I've been really focusing on that mainly so we can start bringing some awareness to how crazy that diet is. So that has been my focus as of late. Because a lot of ex-vegans end up going carnivore too. So, and it all has to do with this general fear of carbohydrates. So you do a vegan diet and you fear carbs, so you inevitably fail on that. Then you go to carnivore because, oh, well, meat's just this like magical food because it doesn't contain carbs. And the whole time, you just need to be eating more carbs. Okay, I'm not seeing any um, of you guys like chatting me up yet. I don't know what that is about. So maybe if you can say hi in the chat box. Okay, thank you. M. Gonzalez, hello from Texas. Thanks. Just wanted to make sure that feature was working so I don't miss anything from you guys. So yeah, I just figured, when it comes to talking about nutrition, we got to start with the basics. And the basics is always, we use glucose to make energy. So if that basic fundamental piece is missing from somebody's, you know, dietary social media influence, then that needs to be addressed. All right. Asha, great to catch you live. Why do you think the carnivore women still look slim and their face looks youthful? Well, doing the keto diet will result in water weight loss and fat loss if you are maintaining like a calorie deficit. But it comes at the expense of your health and metabolism. So those people can't touch carbohydrates or they're going to blow out. So regardless of what they look like right now, I see so many of them come and go as the years go on. And that is going to be the fate of the ones doing it as well. I also think, Botox is really popular, as well as other facial procedures, cosmetic procedures in general. You never know what somebody's doing. Okay, let's see. Hi from PA. Hi, John. Ian Morph. Hi, cute sweater. Hi from Vermont. Hello. Yeah, do you guys like my sweater? My sister got this for me. I figured it was suitable for today's video. John, what is best diet for diabetics? High carb, low fat. Actually, the American Dietetic Association acknowledges that a high carb, low fat diet is good for managing diabetes. In fact, it will reverse your diabetes. So that's been clinically proven by Dr. Neil Barnard. He wrote a book about it. You can pick that up. All you have to do is Google it on Amazon, Reversing Type 2 Diabetes by Dr. Neil Barnard. And if you're taking medication, you have to make sure you're communicating with your doctor about that so that you don't end up, having an issue because of the meds. Okay. Yeah, filters. Yeah, a lot of those women do use filters. I don't use a single filter. There is like a natural filter on the camera, but what you see from me is what you get. I actually haven't showered today. I had a busy morning with the little guy. Then we went to the gym, and that usually puts him out for his nap. So here we are, and I didn't have time to shower. And I don't have a smell either, you know. Steak and butter gal is always like, I don't smell, and but she does wear makeup, and I doubt that she doesn't smell. And the thing about carnivore too is that it does like put your body in a constant state of fight or flight. Any low carb diet's going to do this, where your cortisol is really high, and that can shut down your immune function and shut down other functions as well. So maybe she's not getting uh, her detox train moving at all, because that would require her immune system to be working. Okay. Winter's Night, Tennessee Love. Hey, what's up? I've been in Tennessee before. I live in the northeastern part of the United States, but I've traveled all over, and Tennessee has been one place I visited. You guys get a little bit of extreme weather. I'm not a real big fan of tornadoes, so. But Tennessee was beautiful where I saw. Actually, I like Kentucky a lot, so I must have been um, near Kentucky because we went and visited Mammoth Cave, and that was just absolutely gorgeous. Um, Alex Mueller, Alex from State College, PA, go PSU. Yeah, that's where I graduated from with my biology degree. SS, hi, can you talk about iron, ferritin, TIBC, and the effect on aerobic capacity? Yeah, you want to make sure your iron stores are normal. So on a blood test, that's going to look like normal hemoglobin, normal hematocrit, and normal ferritin. You just want all those numbers to be normal, and your aerobic capacity is going to be better because your red blood cells can basically do their job of transporting oxygen to your cells for energy production. So if you are anemic, it means that you can't move oxygen as efficiently around for energy generation, so it's going to hinder your metabolism. Someone says, I am, you know nothing. Okay. Why are you here then? To learn nothing, I guess. San Namu. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Been following you since back in the days. Yeah, I've been on YouTube since 2015. With my first pregnancy is when I first got started making YouTube videos. I should have probably been on sooner when I was going through my weight gain, but I was really, really self-conscious back then. Miss the old sweetest batch blackberry days. Oh my gosh. They are actually out right now. I just had some not that long ago. And then we have blackberry bushes in our yard too that are really yummy. I've done both high carb, low fat vegan and carnivore diets, kept having candida, skin fungal and issues on high carb, low fat vegan. You have to pick one and then be consistent with it. You can't just like go back and forth. And then on high carb, low fat vegan, you have to, whatever happens to you with your body on high carb, low fat vegan, you have to just accept it because that is the natural state of your body. So if you have insulin resistance, if you're gaining weight, if you've got candida, you have to just keep pushing through. Let it out, let the breakouts out, let the smells out, let it all out, and then your body will re-establish its metabolic health and its natural state, and you can move forward from there. You can't go back and forth though, and you have to be really strict about your overt fat intake, okay? You have to keep it to 0 if you're trying to move towards being insulin sensitivity and you're coming from a carbohydrate calorie restrictive diet background, including carnivore. Carnivore is probably the worst diet to come from because of the lack of fiber and the amount of saturated fat in the diet. Everyone's blood work that I've looked at that has come from the carnivore diet, they all have elevated lipid panel. So elevated total cholesterol, elevated LDL cholesterol, which are the two main cholesterol numbers that indicate you've got heart disease, but also that you've got fat in your arteries, okay? Deposited fat in your arteries. So that is going to be having an impact on your health. So you have to keep the fat out of the diet so that your body can remove the fat that has been deposited there. Unfortunately, though, with being programmed for fat storage after a diet like that, you've kind of got like a double whammy where your body's going to be upregulating de novo lipogenesis as well. So you're going to be storing more fat. Initially, you just have to continue to eat your way through it. I had to do it. I went through like a year and a half to 2 years of carrying excess weight on my body before I started losing weight. So just got to be patient and uh, and commit. Patience and consistency and commitment are the key to success on this diet path. And what's crazy is I keep seeing all this like carnivore stuff where you have to just eat like fatty beef, right? Why aren't people eating like fish or chicken or like other forms of dead critters? Like, why is beef just like this magical food? And some people will say, well, high carb, low fat is extreme, being vegan is extreme. There is so many options. I mean, I've got dough like ready to make a pizza tonight. As long as it's high carb, low fat, which is like all the fruits, except for fatty fruits, all the starches, beans if you want them, vegetables. But the key here is if you meet your carbohydrate quota, you don't crave other foods. And then the foods that you do crave, like I had a craving for pizza. So I'm gonna make one. I just make it from scratch. The dough is so easy. It's 2 cups flour, 1 cup warm water, 1 packet of instant yeast, a little bit of sugar and salt, and boom, you've got pizza dough ready to go. It's like old school styles too, you've got all this like homestead, make it yourself content that's really popular. Well, this diet coincides with that kind of living as well. You're just making your rice, you're just making your beans if you're having them, you're just getting your vegetables and prepping them. It's very like Whole Foods-esque. You're using sugar like people have been using sugar for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, sorry, I went on a tangent. Sunny Butter, hi, can you tell me how to deal with water retention on high carb diet? I've noticed that carbs make my body softer. Well, when I was a few years back on a low carb diet, I had this tight, dehydrated look. Yeah, that's normal. If you take a look at anybody who competes in bodybuilding competitions, that's the look that they have because they dehydrated themselves. They go on a cut. You cut your carbs and you cut your fat and you cut your, I don't think you cut your water intake until it's like a day before the show, but you cut your carbs and you cut your fat and you cut your calories. That was the third one. And it forces your body to lose all your glycogen, which looks like 2 to 4 pounds, and all of your water stores. Okay, we're not supposed to look all cut up and ripped up unless our body fat percentage is that low. We still want to have like just sufficient water stores. On a woman that's going to be more than a man, so a man can get more of like a cut ripped look and still have adequate glycogen and hydration stores, whereas a woman, when we don't or when we're fully hydrated, we're going to look softer. I have like ab lines and lines in my hips, and I have lines when I like flex, but otherwise my body has a softer appearance to it. That's normal estrogen levels. Okay, that's adequate hydration, that's health. So it can be a bit of a um, shock or transition, just getting used to your body looking hydrated. I remember feeling the same way because I came to this diet from being dehydrated, chronically dehydrated, from a low carb diet, from fasting all the time. And that's why people pile on weight so rapidly too, because a lot of that is fluid retention from the body being dehydrated. So it's kind of a similar concept of, okay, you starved your body, so now it's going to hoard fat. Well, you dehydrated your body, now it's going to hoard water. So the best way to establish um, adequate hydration stores in your body is to consistently eat enough carbohydrates so that you're refilling your glycogen. So you're never bonking, you're never running out of glycogen completely. So you're maintaining some hydration in your body all the time, and encouraging your body to naturally be hydrated by drinking water and eating carbs and being consistent. I eat, I don't know, probably about 2,000 milligrams of salt a day. I don't experience any like puffiness from that. My body just regulates itself because I do what it needs to, I give it what it needs in order for it to be healthy and balanced. The body likes consistency, consistent intake of carbs, consistent intake of fluid, consistent intake of salt, okay? Um, Consistent sleep, consistent exercise. There's going to be a little bit of variability in there in terms of like, not every day being the same, but overall, you want to give your body as much consistency as possible so that it can release excess water weight that it doesn't need. Generally, this happens when your hormones are balanced. Your body's going to release excess fluid weight. What it doesn't release, it needs though. I've used the analogy before of if you have an injury, let's say you like sprained your wrist, and it swells, that's not your wrist like being fat. That's your wrist healing. So the body goes through a similar, concept when it's healing metabolically speaking, where you're going through a period of fat and fluid retention, where your body's reestablishing its metabolic health, in order to, be healthier and have normal hormone function. Hope that makes sense. Hang in there. Robert Garcia, is it Serbia? Are you from Serbia? That's pretty cool if you are. Oh, look at all the little strawberry from Dave. John, no meds yet. That's great. Hang in there. You just need to make sure you're consistent with your diet. High carb, low fat, fruits, vegetables, starches, legumes if you desire them. No overt fats, sugar to taste. Make sure your diet is sufficient in fiber. Denise Faye. Hi, Victoria. Hey, Denise. How's it going? Ann Morph, do you have concerns about B vitamins on a Kempner style diet? No, I don't at all. I've never actually had any issues with any kind of nutrient deficiency other than iron. And for that, I am still breastfeeding right now, so my iron demand is high. I do supplement with a Flamingo multivitamin iron supplement. I take that like a few times a week right now, and that does come with a little bit of B vitamins, and zinc and vitamin C to help with the iron absorption. But I do track on Chronometer at least once a month. I'll put my diet in, and I pretty much eat around the same foods every day with some like seasonal variety, and I'm always meeting my B vitamin needs because B vitamins are the vitamins that help with energy production. They're like the little, we have glucose, that's huge, oxygen, that's huge. We got fatty acids that play a huge role in there. But then the B vitamins, they all act as little like helpers. So naturally, they're going to be found in high carbohydrate foods because they're the foods that contain the most glucose and energy. So they're going to be the highest in the B vitamins as well. Do you have okay, I just did that one. How to gain muscle mass without going to health club? If you want to gain muscle, you got to move your body. You have to lift heavy weights. You're going to put on lean muscle doing cardio also, but you're not going to put on size doing that. So if muscle mass gain is your goal, you got to find heavy things to pick up, challenge your body, and also make sure you're eating sufficient protein and sufficient carbs to help encourage muscle growth. Okay, somebody had a message retracted. I don't know if you guys can do that or if YouTube did that. Say hey, Marin. Okay. Do you supplement with anything like vitamin D? Yes, actually, I am taking vitamin D right now. When I had my blood work done in September, no, it was beginning of October. I went just for an annual physical and I had all this blood work run because I want to make sure that going into winter healthy, well, my vitamin D came back low. And that was probably because I didn't spend as much time just like laying out in the sun because I had a baby. And he's taking all my vitamin D. So I do supplement with vitamin D right now. And that's probably why like I'm feeling better too. Sometimes like I get kind of, low energy in the wintertime. We've had a pretty rough winter this year. And I think that's had to do with vitamin D deficiency in the past. So I also live somewhere where we don't have sufficient vitamin D for, at least half the year. So supplementing becomes something that can be necessary. I recommend everyone get their vitamin D levels checked, and then the person who orders your blood work, or you can ask, a physician what dosage you should take, because you should never take vitamin D without a proper dosage from someone who's going to be monitoring your blood work, because vitamin D is something that can build up in the body and cause toxicity. So you want to make sure that your vitamin D source stay normal, and you can do that just with regular blood work and getting a proper dosage from your physician. Okay, I am experiencing a lot of headaches and diarrhea trying to implant the diet. It sounds like you should sign up for coaching with me. My website's www.nutritionbyvictoria.com. Anything that specific, I need to know more information, more context about what's going on, how long you've been trying this, what you were doing previously, what other kind of health things you have going on. So that would require my coaching. Fruit Kid, hey Victoria, what's up, Clinton? Thanks for joining. Love the strawberry sweater, thank you. I don't know where my sister got it, but it's super cute. It's very like classic. What should I do if I'm skinny but only have fat in my belly? I would suggest getting fitter. That's going to increase your appetite, which is going to, if your body needs to gain weight, it will. If your body needs to lose fat, it will. So focus on getting fitter through cardio exercise, biking or running, and then maybe doing some resistance training as well. Okay. Somebody wrote read comment. I don't know what you're referring to. Skinny everywhere except stomach. Yeah, I got that. So exercise. Get your 5K time down. Find out what you can run a 5K in, which is 3.1 miles, and then continue to improve on that, and you'll watch your body composition change. That tends to be when people are like, oh, I can't lose weight on this diet, or I'm at a weight loss plateau. Um, Generally, it means that you need to focus now on improving your fitness level and increasing your VO2 max, which will increase your metabolism, increase your demand for burning fat. So then you're going to be able to lose more fat, change your body comp. Increasing your VO2 max too becomes when you push yourself, that's when this change happens, but then you maintain it just with like low intensity cardiovascular exercise, so you don't need to be doing high intensity VO2 max training all the time. Maybe like once a week, doing like a hard session on the bike or running. So that could be like a 5K race. Right now I'm running like a 5K time trial about once a month. And then I'm doing the rest of my VO2 max training on the bike, just because I don't really have my treadmill at home right now. I can't really go that fast on it. I need to get it serviced. And then I don't like running too late into the day because I don't like running with food in my system. So I end up doing a lot of my intensity work on the bike. And then I'm finding that running's just getting so much easier as my cardio capacity increases. It's really awesome. And then your body composition, changes with that too. So then it becomes easy to just stay effortlessly lean or get lean. Um, And then putting the carbs in makes it easier to train, and then you want to train. So, you know, all win win. Okay. I was keto, low calorie before. I think I damaged my body. Yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately. Whenever you restrict your carbohydrates, you restrict your energy and the rest of your body suffers, especially your digestive system. I could never figure out what was wrong with my GI system, and it was because I was doing everything except for eating sufficient carbs. Hadley's High Carb Kitchen. What's up, Hadley? Hey, Victoria. Happy I made it to a live. Love the sweater. Thanks, girl. I shared one of Hadley's What I Eat in a Day reels in my stories on my Instagram today. So make sure you guys check that out because she is just killing it on this lifestyle. She's a great representation of what is possible when you put the work in. And that's the thing is that most people aren't willing to do what it takes, you know, and I'm not saying that like, oh, you're doing it wrong or something, but you have to put the principles into practice and then you have to just be consistent. It becomes easy because you're like, okay, I just have to sleep 8 to 12 hours. You know, for most people it's going to be like 8 hours. I just have to drink water every day. I got to eat enough carbs, which is like at least 2,000 calories a day for women, more if you want to be active. I gotta keep my fat low, okay, so I'm not gonna eat oil or avocados, nuts and seeds, definitely no animal products. Um, and I need to move my body every day, so I gotta either get a stationary bike, have a gym membership, go out and go for a walk, you know, do something where you're moving and challenging your um, VO2 max, your aerobic capacity. And what else? I think that's it. Like I keep seeing a lot of this carnivore stuff that's like you're not doing it right and you're only supposed to be eating fatty meat and water. Like talk about a restrictive diet. Like holy crap. Okay. The pink balloon is a legend. Yeah, I just noticed it up there. That's from my daughter's ninth birthday party. So it's been alive since November. Okay, could you say that again? I wasn't listening. You're just gonna have to rewatch this. Okay, fat low if you want candida to go. That's right, fruit kid. You gotta be consistent with the fat being low. Read your food labels. Make sure that what you're eating doesn't contain fat. And really, I recommend using like whole foods. Okay, so you're going, let's say you want to make bread or you want to make pizza crust. Go get some flour. Okay, the ingredients just flour. Buy fruits and vegetables where your ingredients are just that fruit and that vegetable. Buy your sugar where the ingredient is just sugar. Now, I have other foods in my diet, like I've got sorbet in my freezer, and I like to eat Sour Patch Kids. But for the most part, the majority of what I'm eating is like single ingredient food items, okay? So they don't contain all these other like additives that could be, you know, oil or something. So you need to make sure you're reading food labels and buying foods that don't contain any oil and avoiding your nuts, seeds, avocados, plant fats, coconut, definitely animal-based foods, okay? Are you vegetarian, vegan? I'm vegan. Been vegan for, it'll be 13 years, the end of March, March 22nd. 2012 is when I went all in on a high carb, low fat, plant based vegan diet, and I haven't looked back since. What's your diet looking like these days? I remember your experiments with adding and removing added sugar, going on mucusless diet, and on and off, etc. So, um, I'm like the queen of diet experiments. I've had to try everything, and it really helps me to fully understand the impact that food has on our body. So, what I've come to the conclusion is that your body does not care where the carbohydrates are coming from. That's what it needs. So, my experiments with being on a mucus free diet always led me back to raw till 4 and just eating unlimited carbs in general because that's what makes me feel my best. I've found that mucus-free tends to be too restrictive. Um, I feel best eating fruit and rice, like the Walter Kempner diet. I've done days where I've had just fruit and I just don't feel as satisfied unless I'm really packing it in. And I just, more so in summer, I have a tendency to do more like fruit fruit days. But right now, with the goals that I have for myself, which is just to survive being a mom. Because, 3 kids, like, that's been a new experience for me. I am breastfeeding a boy this time. He definitely drinks a lot more milk, and I've been making more milk this time around too. And then I've been really wanting to get fitter. I started playing in a women's basketball league, so I had the desire to get to a point with playing where it just felt effortless like it did when I was a kid. And I've got myself to that point. So, yay, like adding more carbs has helped me to be able to meet all these goals that I've had for myself. So, I shifted from eating a certain diet philosophy being a goal, like being mucus free, for instance, which I don't completely agree with at all. Um, and there's a lot of information in that book that is just kind of dogmatic and philosophical as opposed to being scientific. So I am a very scientific minded person. And if something doesn't work for me, then I like to investigate, the possibility of why that is. And it's because, just wasn't getting in enough carbohydrates. Starches are not bad for you in any kind of a way. I think that a fruit and starch based diet is best, but my kids eat mostly like a starch based diet and they're thriving. Um, But yeah, it really comes down to just getting in enough carbs. Hi, sweet boy. Oh, come here. So I hope that answers the question. Thanks for hanging in with me and my experiments. I just like to be transparent. You look great these days. Whatever you're doing is working. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal with me is that my output is so high. My metabolism is so high right now that I have to eat like a lot. And recently, in the last month, I've really upped my sugar intake. Hi, buddy boo. Look it. I got yummies for you. I upped my sugar intake a lot, and I noticed that my face like started looking younger. So sugar is definitely anti-aging, and it increased my insulin sensitivity too, and my fitness and all that. Okay, what up, my G? Okay, what's up? I got a question, my G. Oh, welcome to the chat. Okay. The reason why carnivores stick to fatty meats versus leaner meats like chicken, fish, etc. is because the fat helps to prevent constipation. You know what else helps to prevent constipation is fiber and not being dehydrated, which is what a carnivore diet causes. He's got noodles and broccoli. Okay. Look up Dr. Ken Berry and see why mostly beef. Yeah, I guess I've got some carnivore people joining the chat. Yeah, Ken Berry has cortisol belly. I'm not taking any advice from that guy. He looks all red and inflamed and like I think it's important to understand too that beef, like just like you kill this cow, which cows are actually really smart. I bike in like the countryside. I live in like suburbs countryside. And I will pass cows and I think they're so cute. Do you want some milk? What do you want? Yeah? You want some milk? Okay. Anyway, so I'll pass by these cows and I'll like holler at them. I'll say, "What's up, cows?" And they all look at me and I say, "I don't eat you." And, sometimes if the fence is like really close by the road, I'll stop and like hang out with them, or horses. And these animals are really intelligent. They're very aware, and there's no point to eating these animals like when we don't have to. Like physiologically speaking, we don't need to eat animals. We're not carnivores. There's nothing in animal products that we can't get from plant foods. I've made 3 kids, 3 humans. I've grown 3 humans with my body and not consuming any animals at all. Okay. So they're sentient beings. They deserve our respect. They're just nature's like lawnmower. You want some more milk? Oh my goodness. Okay. And this little guy, he has all these like stuffed animals, and we've been to see animals on like farms, and we've been to like petting zoos, and he just loves them all. He loves cows. And yeah, so like where is it where we have this like natural compassion for these animals, but then we like decide their food too? I don't know who decided that. Who decided that the cow was just like, in India they don't eat cows because the cow is a symbol, is a sacred symbol, because it, you know, is like the mother, right? The one, they do consume dairy, so they have these cows around for dairy. But I've seen that the cows are allowed to just like roam around the cities, and nobody's allowed to harm them because they're a sacred creature. Okay, and fat is the source of energy on carnivore versus carbs. Yeah, but even if you are in ketogenesis, where you're converting fatty acid to ketones, you are still utilizing gluconeogenesis. So you're creating glucose even while you're in ketogenesis. And that's why it doesn't end up being good for somebody long term, because you lose that ability to regulate your blood sugar levels. And the Eskimos are a people that was studied for their animal-based diet. And before they introduced other foods to their diet, they only lived like 40 years. So it's something to keep in mind. Could you please provide tips for managing a vegan/non-vegan household and keeping everyone happy? And how hard can you push immediate family members to go fully vegan without them hating you? Well, my children, I've just raised them on plant foods. So my girls now, who are 6 and 9, don't are they choose to eat a vegan diet for themselves. They have had food that's been like tainted with animals pieces and secretions, and they have gotten sick off of eating them. So that's just something to keep in mind. My middle child, she gets the most ill if there is any dairy in her food. And this has only happened like, maybe 3 times, where there's been like cheese and marinara sauce or something, and she got pretty sick from that. Anyways, my husband, and there's nobody else that's in my family that eats a plant-based vegan diet, but everybody has eaten more plant-based from my influence, I'd say. I really don't care what other people do. I mean, I do care what other people do, which is why I have this YouTube channel to help show people. Oh God, that was my keyboard. Show people how to eat a healthy plant-based diet, how to do it the right way, how to not contribute to the animal industrial agricultural business, how to prevent yourself from getting these diseases related to consuming animals, and the impact it has on the planet. But everybody in my parents and my in-laws and everyone who's kind of like in my social circle, I guess, has chosen to eat more plant-based. They've swapped out like regular milk for plant milk, regular butter for like plant-based butter, just having more meat-free days, things like that. Also, everyone's house has a rice cooker at it now. So, just the little things. I don't think you should ever push anybody to eat a certain way. That's why I provide education so that you can choose to eat in a way that you're informed about, because okay, I know carbs are not bad for me now, I know they're good for me, so I'm going to eat as much carbs as I want, and then I naturally don't want the other stuff that makes people sick and fat. So yeah. Okay. Cellar sizer helps with water retention. It does. I cellar size on my rebounder over here. I do it every day for at least 10 minutes. I guess one day this week I only did it for 5, but it depends on my availability time-wise. Lately I've been going to the gym more because I have childcare there, so little man gets to play while mommy gets to sweat. Jesus is Lord. Yes, I believe in Jesus Christ. I love frozen cherry. Oh, frozen cherries are good. Frozen cherry smoothie, so blended with frozen bananas with some sugar. Ooh, I haven't had that in a while. Okay. Oh boy. What's your favorite sandwich? Well, I haven't eaten a sandwich in a long time, but what I like to do to like emulate a sandwich, because I'm not really a big fan of like bread. I like to make spring roll wraps. So I take like a spring roll wrapper paper. You guys see me post these on my Instagram all the time. And then I fill it with like sandwich ingredients, I guess, and it's like an Asian style sandwich that's got lettuce and usually like cooked carrots and cucumber, and sometimes I put pickles in there, pickled ginger, rice. So that's like my style sandwich that I eat all the time. But if I was to go to like get a sub or something, or I've seen those banh mi's look pretty good too, I would eat one of those with just the bread and like the vegetables. Oh geez, I think this might be busted. Oh no. Okay. What body fat percentage do we get abs? For a male, I'd say you're gonna start to see abs probably between like 10%, 10-15%. A woman can have ab lines at a little bit higher body fat percentage just because of where we hold our fat is generally in our boobs and butt. Unless you're like an apple shape, then you'll hold more in your abdomen. So it's really variable, but I'd say for a man, probably like 10-15%, you'll start to see ab lines. In order to see like a full-on six-pack, you're gonna need to be like single digits probably. You're pretty. Are you single? No. I am married. I have a husband, 3 kids. Hi doll, love your sweater. In your experience, what are the most satiating raw vegan meals? Gold nurse smoothie. Oh no. I've had green smoothies before. They're not satiating. I always want more carbs afterwards, but then I have this like gut full of all this water and fiber and just like low calorie density smoothie. It actually causes me to have some GI distress. So I'll get like bloated, and then I'll just want to put more food on top of it, and yeah. So the most satiating foods meal on a raw vegan diet are going to be fruit-based meals. Fruit-based meals that you can add sugar to, okay? A lot of people think sugar is like a crime, but honestly, when you start adding sugar to your fruit meals, then you realize how much sweeter that fruit actually is supposed to be, because your sensor for sweet on your tongue and like your taste buds is going to register, you know, if it's too much, if it's not enough. So, yeah, I really highly suggest experimenting with that and seeing how you go and, you know, what helps you to feel the most satisfied. So, I find that adding sugar to my fruit just like satiety factor goes up immensely, and then you're not going to deal with so much digestive discomfort from like bloating. I have a section about this in my coaching program, how to use low calorie density plant foods, you know, your fruits, vegetables, starches, legumes, with high calorie density carbohydrate options like sugar, dates, dried fruit, in order to create a diet that's going to be the most satiating and sustainable. Should I be concerned about a 2.89 TSH? No, just keep moving forward with this diet and lifestyle and it will come down. It's that having a TSH that's a little bit, you know, that's still normal, but, you know, a, anything over like 3.99 is considered to be high for a TSH, which indicates like hypothyroid. So the lower, you know, the better for your TSH. But also just it it's very subject your thyroid to stress. So if you want to give your body the best um, opportunity to make thyroid hormone, and have a good TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone, then you just want to eat enough carbohydrates, which will inevitably lower your stress level and help to, you know, just be good for thyroid health. Okay, love your video on cellar sizer and pelvic floor. I have issues since doing IVF. What other benefits do you notice with it? Oh, I used a cellar sizer while I was pregnant. Um, and I have had, it was my only pregnancy where I did use a cellar sizer. And my delivery, when the baby was ready to come out, was very quick. And, you know, granted, it was my third, but my second was a C-section. So, also, I think it helps my recovery. It just pulls your pelvic floor up, you know, back where it's supposed to be. Um, and you don't have to do a whole lot. You can just health bounce. I, in terms of like getting pregnant, like I don't know anything about the cellar sizer having an impact there. I do know that eating a high carb, low fat diet increases your fertility though. Okay, do you think someday we could meet and make hamburger helper together? No. 5,000 IUs for, was what I was told for vitamin D. Yeah, so that's what I currently take is 5,000 IUs a day is what I'm supposed to take. Some days I do that, some days I don't. I've also had a prescription for 10,000 IUs a week. So again, get your vitamin D recommendation from your doctor. Look, he's so cute. Say hi. Okay. Okay, I have adult ADHD and autism, but I'm not handicapped and I'm from West Virginia and I'm a Taurus. Okay, hello. Do a cold plunge. I don't cold plunge. I hate going into cold water. I don't find it necessary to shock my body like that. My body gets enough stress from just day-to-day living that I don't need to do that. I would prefer to just exercise and get that endorphin boost. But I do exercise outside in the cold. You know, it's cold outside right now. I think it's like 19 degrees. So that's how I get my cold plunge is riding my bike outside or going for a walk in the freezing cold. Hello, how was your day today? I've had a good day so far. Can we be friends? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got about 10 minutes left with you guys before I'm going to call it a day. Do you experience any digestive issues on this diet? No. I used to have seriously bad digestion, and being on this diet is the only way that I've found to keep my guts normal. Even being mucus free, where I'm just eating like a fruit for lunch, fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, fruit for dinner, that will start to cause me symptoms. Or if I'm doing like a fruit and veg only diet, that'll start to give me some digestive issues after a few days. But fruit and rice just hits the spot for me, keeps me completely normal, flat belly all day. You know, good BMs, 2 to 3 a day, just excellent gut health. No issues with digestion, normal hemoglobin levels. Okay, hi Victoria, hello. 0 grams of fat a day, is it safe? I don't know. The only way you could eat 0 grams of fat a day is if your entire day is just sugar. I don't recommend that. You're going to be creating nutritional deficiencies eating that way. You can do that like one day, but I don't recommend it. Sometimes you have to go on like a liquid diet for, some kind of health procedure. Like when I was having the baby, I had to be on clear liquids, so I was on apple juice that whole time and like some little ices for about 24 hours. So that would have been like a pretty zero fat day. But it's not necessary. You want to stick to, if weight loss is the goal and max insulin sensitivity, you just want your diet to be about 10 grams of fat or less per day. Hello. I love Sour Patch Kids. Do you think I should restrict the intake because of the food dyes? I'm hoping that they get the food dyes out of the Sour Patch Kids soon, because I really enjoy eating them as well. I don't have them every single day, but I do like to have them as like, a travel snack, or just like, I like to eat them before I play basketball, because I play in the evening, as something that's gonna like power me through, because I'm gonna be playing instead of having dinner. So I just don't worry about it. It's not like a huge part of my diet. So, and if you look at like the Sour Patch Kid box, and it'll say the ingredients, and then it says contains less than 2% of, and that includes the food dyes, which are at the very end. That means that, they're very minimal in the ingredients. Okay, let's see here. That balloon needs to come down. It will eventually. Wait, you had a baby. I've had 3. Why are nutrition scientists always speaking about how bad sugar is? Because they actually don't understand nutritional science. Like, somebody brought up Nutrition with Judy to me, and I went and I looked for her credentials, and she's got some she said she's board certified in holistic health, or holistic something, or holistic nutrition, I'm sorry. Well, her training was probably max like 20 weeks long, if that's the training program that she went through. Could have been less. Like, some people do the some plant-based like nutrition training through like T. Colin Campbell, and then there's a few other places that offer like a 6-week, certified nutritionist like training program. I don't know what those people are learning. I just know that through my Master's of Science degree in human nutrition, I learned all the biochemistry, all the physiology, all the inner workings of the human metabolism that I don't think a lot of people are getting, or they're just not able to apply the science to like, okay, glucose creates energy through the TCA cycle, but eating sugar is bad for you, like refined sugar, even though molecularly it's the same thing. So, and then there's the Percival Hemsworth work that has showed that increasing sugar in the diet promotes insulin sensitivity. I've tested this on myself. That's also why the oral glucose tolerance test uses a sugar solution to test for diabetes or to test for insulin resistance. Because that is a sugar tolerance test. Okay, so I just think there's a lot of cognitive dissonance, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that people aren't smart, I'm just saying, like, the ability to be analytical is a little, lost. Okay. I feel 100% better on fruits and sugars. Yeah, everybody does. Sugar over Botox. Absolutely. Okay. The baby's always up to mischief. Okay. I was on a fruitarian diet, no overt fats, no oils, no fatty fruits like avocado or durian. Ended up with fungal skin issues and candida. Tried fruitarian, McDougall, high carb, low fat with added sugar. I'm not sure what is going on with that, but I can say that most fruitarians undereat. Undereating promotes insulin resistance, so that could have been what was going on. Sign up for my coaching if you want my help, okay? Had acid reflux and diarrhea as well. Yeah, sounds like you probably could have used some white rice in your diet as well. Okay, are you married? Yes, I am. I'm going on my 10-year wedding anniversary coming up, actually.
Nana.
What? Okay, what? Somebody says moo cow. Yes. Something that people don't understand is that cows make milk for their babies, just like all mammals make milk for their babies, okay? Why are we stealing milk from babies and drinking the milk of another species when there isn't a single animal in nature that does this? I don't know. That's industry programming there. That's industry propaganda programming. Okay. Is your husband vegan? No. Do you want some water? I think I'm gonna have to go. Should I avoid sugar on high carb, low fat if I want to lose weight faster? No, you should add it. It'll give you more energy to get fitter, to burn more fat. Okay, the idea here is to have a dietary fat deficit. You don't need a calorie deficit. You want to put enough sugar in, enough carbohydrates in, fruit, sugar, starches, right, to increase the metabolism, which is going to give you more energy. Then you can do more, which is going to increase your VO2 max, your oxygen uptake. Then you're going to be able to burn more fat because this increases your metabolic rate as well. And you're going to burn more body fat when you maintain a dietary fat deficit. First things first, though, is you have to become more insulin sensitive. So you can use a glucose meter to track your blood sugar levels to see that happening in real time, okay? Hi, friend. Hey, Amber, what's up? Okay. But the cows fart too much, they gotta go. Well, there wouldn't be so many cows if people weren't choosing to purchase them for food, okay? So it starts with you making the decision to stop funding that industry, okay? It's supply and demand 101. What do you do to have a healthy pregnancy while on your fruit starch vegan diet? Anything else you add to your regimen? Also, while breastfeeding, to be able to produce good amount of breast milk. I just eat enough calories. I had already established that prior to my first pregnancy. It's just I did my metabolic damage recovery prior to my first pregnancy, so that when I got pregnant with my first child, I was healthy, and I just maintained my diet and active lifestyle throughout all of my pregnancies. And I think with each pregnancy, I gained, within the normal amount of weight, 25 to 35 pounds. And I just, supplement wise, took B12. And this last pregnancy, I did take that iron multivitamin that I was talking to you guys about, but I wasn't really that good about taking it. So I ended up um, anemic towards the end of my pregnancy. And they said, well, just keep taking your supplements. So finally, like, I got good about it. I'm not good about taking supplements all the time, but I have been recently, and it has made a really big difference in my energy levels, because whenever you're deficient in something, deficient in vitamin D, that's going to impact your insulin sensitivity. That's going to impact your metabolism. Iron, it's going to impact your metabolism. It's going to impact your insulin sensitivity. So all these things have, you know, a cumulative effect on your metabolic health. Okay. How are your children's dental health and their vegan diets while developing? Anything you add for them to have healthy set of teeth without cavities, need for braces? My children have never had a cavity. They go to the dentist every 6 months for a checkup and a cleaning. And yeah, the two older girls are in the process of losing baby teeth right now. So that's really fun. But their baby teeth were all healthy. Their adult teeth are growing in really healthy. I just feed them a balanced vegan diet. Like I said, it is starch based, it is high carb, but they do have more fats in their diet, for, you know, calorie purposes, nutrient purposes. I think children, you know, should just be given, you know, as much variety as possible within like the plant-based world, and then you kind of find what they like from there. Um, and like the little guy, he loves all the carbs, but he also loves other little snacks and peas. I ate a lot of peas with his pregnancy actually, and he likes a lot of peas. Sometimes they'll do like the vegan chicken nuggets and stuff, and the girls love French fries. So we do have like, you know, fun foods, but the majority of their diet is like whole food, plant based. But you know, I consider whole food plant based to also include like refined carbohydrates. So, yeah. Um, what else? Oh yeah, and nobody's old enough for braces yet. But my oldest, her teeth are just coming in beautifully. Like they're not like overcrowded or anything. Do you have a hot tub? Yes, I do. Are you a chemist? I have a biology degree and a human nutrition degree. So I'm not a chemist per se. I have taken a lot of chemistry classes though. You need moderators. Depends on how developed your abdominal muscles are. Yeah, Amber's saying that in response to the six-pack question. So yeah, being able to see your abs is going to have to do with like muscle development and then body fat percentage. All right, I'm going to answer a few more, and I'm going to let you guys go. Please share your thoughts on why Brian Johnson takes olive oil, because he restricts his carbs, and that's like his, you know, calorie density source. So instead, he should cut the fats and include more sugar. His insulin sensitivity will increase. And then he's also selling olive oil too. So everybody always has their like high calorie density like food option. You know, for the carnivores, it's the fatty meat or the butter. For Brian Johnson, it's his olive oil. For me, table sugar. So dates. The diet that promotes insulin sensitivity, though, is the one that I follow, not theirs. Okay. Nutritional yeast seasoning is a good source of protein and B vitamins. Yeah, I mean, have it if you like it. Soy sauce is good for that as well. That's what I use. Yes. Okay. Have you done any Zoom webcam discussion collabs with other high carb low fat YouTubers? Yeah, Get Fit with Natasha and I did an interview on my channel, as well as Pauline, which her channel name is Sweet Fruitiness, and she just got back on social media. And then Weight Loss with EJ, I did a collab with her. I would love to talk with Harley Johnstone as well on here at some point, and do like a little, collab interview thing. Why do science nutritionists speak sugar is bad? I already answered that one. You know, they just can't put two and two together. You know, they have to. A lot of people who get science degrees, their method for passing their program was based on memorization, not being analytical. Whereas my mind is more analytical. I have to understand something before I can memorize it. So that's where I've kind of had a benefit in, you know, understanding human nutrition and metabolism and the importance of sugar. I love your hair. Thanks. Like I said, I haven't showered today yet. I keep playing with it because it's kind of funky. Thanks so much for the TSH answer. Yeah. Okay. What's your opinion on eating canned fruits? They're fine. I ate canned peaches this morning for breakfast. You know, the heavy metal contamination. I don't worry about that stuff so much. I mean, I'd like to see RFK Jr. if he gets in to address that and improve our food standards here in America. Get rid of, you know, anything that's going to be harmful that's being added to food. So we're talking about heavy metals, chemicals, dyes, pesticides, so that our food is just cleaner. I try to buy organic, but you know, ultimately at the end of the day, what's going to impact your body more is going to be whether you have eaten enough carbohydrate or not. Okay, it's kind of like dehydration, and you're going to die faster from dehydration than you would from drinking contaminated water. So you just kind of have to, like, you know, prioritize what needs to be prioritized first for you to feel your best. So yeah, canned fruit is a great backup if you can't get a lot of fresh fruit, like it's wintertime. I like to get the canned fruit, the canned peaches in particular, that are in heavy syrup, like sugar syrup. Can you still be insulin sensitive if you eat some meat? This is going to depend on your consumption, your fitness level, your age, but in general, your insulin sensitivity would be better without it. What is your husband's choice for eating meat? He considers himself an opportunistic eater, which means that if it's there, he'll eat it, you know, so he doesn't have much of a preference other than, you know, just eating food. Was pregnancy hard for you? No. No, I've had relatively easy pregnancies, healthy pregnancies. Okay. All right, that's it for this live. Thank you so much for those of you who have joined. I'll be back on next Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, if it works out. I will make a post if that ends up being the plan. And can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for those of you who have joined. And stay tuned for my content for next week. And let me know what you'd like to see from me. All right. Bye, guys.